Well, hello and good morning, everybody. I'm sorry the weather's not a bit kinder, but we can't arrange everything, can we? I'm so very pleased today to have this opportunity to speak on behalf of my family and friends to thank the City Mayor and Council and indeed everyone else concerned in paying this splendid tribute to my father. One of my father's proudest moments, I'm quite certain, would have been when he unveiled the War Memorial in Salisbury on February 1922. I'm equally certain that he would be just as proud to know that he is being honoured in this way today. When I was first invited to say a few words, it left me with a dilemma. Which part of my father's long and rather colourful career should I speak of? Possibly his sporting prowess, playing football as a centre forward for Salisbury, Bedford and Petersfield, taking up rugby when he joined the Army, and being selected to play international rugby for the Army against the New Zealand All Blacks. He never told me what the score was, though. Or perhaps playing cricket as a wicketkeeper until he was past 60 years old. And then, of course, there was his life as the headmaster of the school at Blackmore, where he and my mother arrived in 1926 and vowed they would not stay any longer than possible in this isolated, dead and alive place in the middle of nowhere. In a very short time they learned to love Blackmore and its people, and after almost 50 years are still there together. Or perhaps his time in the Army during the Second World War, when he rose from the rank of captain in 1939 to Lieutenant Colonel when he eventually left the Army in 1946. I wish that police car would stop. I'll let him go. That's a fire engine, sorry. My mistake. And of course, there were some moments in his career which he might not like to be reminded of. When peace was declared in 1918, after one or two drinks, like many others, he grabbed hold of a small Union Jack with the intention to put it on the top of a flagpole in Cambridge Square. He was barely halfway up when he admitted to being more frightened than he'd ever been in the trenches at the Battle of the Somme. He was never more relieved than when his feet were back on the ground again. And then it came to me, on what may possibly be the last occasion for me to speak publicly about my father, I should not use my words, but I should repeat once again his words when he described not only the successful charge he led to capture the German trenches, but also his own feelings at the time. But first, a few words on what led up to this action. It was after 7 previous failed attempts to infiltrate the German defences protecting the strategically placed village of Teepville, that my father found himself in the right flank of the 8th attack, leading his small band of just 12 bombardiers. The attack was supposed to take place at night under cover of darkness. Unfortunately, after having to wait for reinforcements, the attack eventually took place in broad daylight. Not surprisingly, like all the other attacks, it failed as the men ran into a hail of machine gun fire and rifle fire. They dived into every available shelter they could find. My father, although advised to the contrary, then led his small group of men for his own further assault. And in his own words, which some of you may have heard before, he describes the assault. They went like a bomb. They really did. They all up and ran, and we got into our little bit of trench. I got a whole lot of bombs ready, and I started to throw them as fast as I could. Then we charged down the trench like a load of mad things. Luckily, they were running. We never caught them, but we drove them out. In the end, with these few men I had, we reached the objective that the whole battalion was down to do. I was frightened, I don't mind telling you. You did a job out there, and I never realised there was anything unusual about it. There was a job to be done, and you just got on and did it. I was more frightened going up to the trenches, sitting, waiting to start. I was very frightened then, very frightened indeed. You have a group of men with you, and you're in charge. We were taught that if we went forward, our men would go with you, see? and you sort of lose your sense of fear thinking about other people. Now, it did occur to me that when he said he did not think he was doing anything unusual, did he really mean that running through a hail of bullets and throwing bombs was the usual sort of thing to do? I don't think so. He was always rather modest about his achievements, and I know what he really meant was that he felt he was doing no more than many others fighting alongside him. And finally, on behalf of myself, family and friends, I would like to thank everyone once again for organising this wonderful tribute to my father, who I, like many others, will always remember a kind and gentle man whose hobbies, apart from his sport, were gardening and bird watching. A far cry from fighting in the trenches, and what everyone believed at the time was the war to end all wars. How wrong they were.